Okay, so we have been reviewing this very fun chemistry of what happens when a metal ion encounters a ligand. So I put that up there. There's a metal ion. It's in solution, typically aqueous solution. And if it encounters a ligand, where a ligand is a molecule that is a Lewis base, it has a pair of electrons to donate. The metal ion is electron deficient. You form this thing with the unfortunate name complex. And it was called that because, in fact, as we pointed out on Wednesday, X is the maximum value. It could have smaller numbers of ligand depending on the ligand concentration. So you throw the ligand with the metal ion, depending on the concentration of the ligand you throw in, you can get a whole pot full of different molecules, and that's why this was called complex. But if you add excess ligand, the principle of Chatellier says, boom, you push that reaction to completion, and that would make X, the final value of X there, the coordination number for the metal ion. If it's silver, its maximum is 2 ligands, and if it's copper, its maximum is 4 ligands, and if it's iron 2+, the maximum is 6 ligands. So this chemistry seemed complex because of that notion that depending on the concentration of the ligand, you could make any number of different molecules. Now, we pointed out last time there's a thing called a chelating agent, and that's just a multi-attachment ligand. It's a molecule that has more than one pair of electrons. So we call those bidentate if it has 2 pairs of electrons, tridentate if it's 3 pairs of electrons, quadradentate if it has 4 pairs of electrons, etc. And And I tried to sell this to you by pointing out that biology, biochemistry uses complexes throughout living systems. And I introduced that on Wednesday by pointing out the molecule hemoglobin, which is the molecule that carries the blood. Well, we can go from the animal world to the plant world. This is chlorophyll. This is the green pigment that's in green plants that is responsible for harvesting solar energy. Look at it. It's got that same sort of ring with the nitrogen ligands pointing in. Not an iron this time, but a magnesium stuck in there. And so biology has incorporated metals into proteins throughout living systems. And so it's a very important kind of chemistry that, especially if you're interested in the life sciences. Now, there's a spectrum. Okay. Now, I wanted to just return briefly to what I was saying right before we left last time. Waiting on you, JR. Come on. So I introduced this other word, ionophore. Ionophore is basically another word for chelating agent, but it sounds fancier. Ionophore literally translates ion, lover, phore. So ion lover. So that's what a chelating agent is, isn't it? It's an ion lover. But ionophores typically are a lot more selective. That's maybe the difference between a chelating agent and an ionophore. The chelating agent EDTA that we introduced last time, it'll bind to pretty much every metal ion. Not everyone, but a lot. Now, the strength of that interaction varies greatly with the metal ion, but it's not real specific. It'll wrap around and hug pretty much any metal ion. Ionophore typically has the opposite notion, that it only binds one ion. So it's a really special, clever chelating agent. It binds one ion and rejects all others. So it has amazing chemical selectivity. Now I introduced this molecule, valinomycin, and it is a naturally occurring antibiotic. It is produced by one bacterium to kill other bacteria. So it is a bullet. How does it kill other bacteria? Well, the first thing to note about its chemical structure is, at least on the outside of this ring, it's very hydrophobic. How do I know that? Well, I see a lot of CH3, CH2 groups, CH3, 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 CH3. This molecule it has a ring of hydrocarbon. Very important concept. Hydrocarbons don't mix with water. Go back to that adage, one of the most important things you can learn from me. Like dissolves like. So this is a hydrocarbon. It's like oil. Oil would be a simple example of a hydrocarbon. Oil floats on top of water. So like dissolves like. So this is a weird molecule. It's all hydrophobic on the outside. And so what this bacterium does is that it secretes this molecule. It lands on the cell membrane of a neighboring molecule. And because it's hydrophobic on the outside and like dissolves like, it dissolves into the cell membrane of the cell that's going to die here in a minute. So the one bacterium releases it as a poison pill. Hydrophobic on the outside because like dissolves like. What's it going to dissolve in? It's going to dissolve in the cell membrane of the neighboring cell. It's going to partition a little bit into the cell, and it's going to grab potassium ions. That's its purpose in life. That's why it was evolved in this creature, to selectively bind potassium ion. How does that kill the cell? It randomly walks in, it binds a potassium ion, and it randomly walks back out. In so doing, dumping the potassium ion out of the cell. The cell dies. On the first day of class, second day of class, we said living cells, typically high concentration of potassium ion inside, low concentration of sodium ion inside. So this thing goes in, grabs the potassium ion, drags it out. Another one comes in, grabs the potassium ion, and drags it out. In so doing, it kills the cell. Now, I said that ionophores have this notion that they are very, very selective. And that's extremely important in this case. Because it only wants, if there's tons of sodium ion around in the extracellular fluid everywhere, it's got to reject sodium ion. It can't make the mistake of binding sodium ion. It has to only bind the potassium. So you take a look at what it says, the stability constant, we're going to talk about that in a second, is 1,000,000. So the binding constant, the equilibrium constant for this molecule to bind potassium ion is 1,000,000, whereas to bind sodium ion, that constant is only 10. So the equilibrium constant is a much greater product-favored reaction for potassium. Equilibrium constant 1,000,000 than for sodium. Equilibrium constant of 10. So this thing is a little torpedo that goes in and grabs the other cell's potassium and takes it out of the cell and thereby kills the cell. And that ionophore notion that it is extremely selective is seen there in those formation constants. 1,000,000 for potassium, and it pretty much ignores sodium. Now, it seems like it ought to, conceptually you might say, oh, well, yeah, it sits right in the middle of that ring, but that ring is way bigger than a potassium ion. So this thing, in fact, wraps its way around. You can see some of that in this depiction of it. Wraps its way around, but to suffice it to say that a potassium ion takes advantage of the lone pairs on these ether oxygens, and that's what's forming the complex. So ionophores are a special kind of chelating agent. They typically have this notion of being very, very selective. And as I said last time, human chemists have figured out how to do this. And so here's a molecule called 18 crown 6. It's a synthetic ionophore. And with this one, certainly a potassium ion can fit very nicely inside that ring and take advantage of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lone pairs donated by those ether oxygens. So you might say this is a very simple version of the valinomycin ionophore. As it turns out, it also very selectively binds lead. And with lead, it does something a little weird. Here's the lead ion. And it forms a sandwich. So I'm showing the 18 crown 6 as edge on. So there's an 18 crown 6. It's coming out of the board at you. And there's an 18 crown 6, and it's coming out of the board at you. And that complex is really strong. And so of all the ions this thing binds to, its selectivity has been studied ad infinitum. It binds very strongly to lead. Now, pretty much on the first or second day of class, I said, the issue of concentration, one of Colonel's core concepts. Lead being a great example of that. In Flint, Michigan, lead concentration too high in drinking water, people getting sick, big, 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 big problem. That city will be paying for that problem for decades. Now, so determining the concentration of lead is very important. Well, since this molecule selectively binds lead and kind of rejects other molecules, doesn't, potassium a little bit, sodium less, then maybe you could think of making a very selective lead ion sensor based on this molecule. And I tried to do that in graduate school and failed. And now in my research group, now we're revisiting that project, and we now have a lead ion sensor based on this molecule some 40 years after I first tried and failed in graduate school. So anyway, as you can see, this chemistry has meaning to me. This is part of my life. I did my graduate research on molecules like this, on ionophores. So I am an ionophore 4. All right. So that's again a long-winded introduction, but for me, it's important to understand this chemistry. All righty. Now, that slide up there talks about, the previous one talks about binding constants. So that's the next topic of conversation. How do we treat this chemistry how do we treat this chemistry quantitatively in terms of equilibrium constants like we have with other chemistries? So let's take the example of our friend copper. So we got copper in a beaker. And we can think about adding a tiny amount of ammonia such that think about adding a small amount of ammonia, maybe a substoichiometric amount of ammonia, so that the only possible complex I can get with this small amount of ammonia is the monoamine complex, one-amine complex. And we describe that by an equilibrium constant, Kf, F for formation. We're forming the complex. We're taking the metal ion and the ligand and forming the complex. And we're going to call it Kf1 to note that we're making the monoamine complex. And that would take the usual form, the equilibrium concentration of the monoamine complex, the equilibrium concentration of copper, the equilibrium concentration of ammonia. And so, nothing new here. That's how we describe that. If you look this up in a book, you'll see that's 1.3 times 10 to the 4. So now we're learning something important. Yeah?
That's squared on the constant or extra plus?
Sorry. Yes, very good. That's the 2 plus. That's the 2 plus of that. It's not squared because there's only one. So everything is 1 here. One of those, and one of those. Now, what do we learn? We learned that this is a product-favored reaction. Position of equilibrium lies very far to the right. How do we know that? Because the equilibrium constant is greater than 1. In fact, it's quite large. It's a product-favored reaction. Now, but we to point out the confusion that 19th and early 20th century chemists encountered, if you then took that mixture and added some more ligand, or ammonia, you could in principle take that monoamine complex, Okay, I'm going to switch from now on. This is just too much trouble to draw the NH3s. So let's call NH3 L. So there you go. There's the lone pair in NH3, and we're going to call it L, just to make my life easier up here. So if we add more of the ammonia, then we could take that monoamine complex and add another ammonia to make the diamine complex. But again, we can describe that by a formation constant. We'll call it Kf now 2. And that's going to be the equilibrium concentration of the diamine complex, the equilibrium concentration of the monoamine complex, and the equilibrium concentration of the ammonia. That's Kf2, and that value is, Kf1, Kf2 is 3.2 times 10 to the third. So again, a product-favored reaction. Now, we can continue this by adding more ammonia, a little bit more ammonia. Then we can take that, where was I? Diamine. We can take that diamine complex, I'll leave out the parentheses. We can add another ligand. We can make the triamine complex, and we can describe that by Kf3. And of course, that would be the equilibrium concentration of the triamine complex, the equilibrium concentration of the diamine complex, the equilibrium concentration of the ammonia, and that is 790. And finally, we can also have Kf4 to make the tetramine complex. It would be the equilibrium concentration of the tetramine complex by the equilibrium concentration of the triamine complex divided by the equilibrium concentration of the ammonia, and that is 120. Okay, fun stuff to note here. All of these reactions are product-favored reactions. Equilibrium constants greater than 1. Conceptually, what's the chemistry here? The chemistry is metal-ion is electron deficient, good Lewis acid. Ligand has a pair of electrons to donate. What does the kernel say about electrostatics? You can understand a huge piece of chemistry, physics, almost a lot of science by simple electrostatic arguments. This included, you got a negative pair, you got a pair of electrons with a partial negative charge being attracted to an electron deficient, positively charged metal ion. So that's what drives it, electrostatics. But what's interesting is look how the formation constants fall off in size. And that's again a reflection of this electrostatic argument. Each time I shove a pair of electrons into that copper to make the monoamine and then the diamine and the triamine, it becomes less electron deficient, right? I'm filling it up with electrons. And so every time you add a ligand, it binds the next one a little more weakly. Because every time you add a ligand, the metal ion becomes a little bit less electron deficient, or it becomes a little bit less of a good Lewis acid. It's not as, every time you add a ligand, it's not as good of a Lewis acid, it's not as strong of a Lewis acid. And so that's a common thing that you see in formation constants. And it makes sense based on this simple electrostatic argument. Now, so we can, if we want, think about the so-called stepwise formation constants, but perhaps the simplest thing to do is to add excess ligand. So if you add a big excess of ligand, the ammonia, well, then you can think of an overall reaction. So we can treat this in steps, treat it as an overall process. If we have excess L, which equal ammonia, meaning the solution is 10 to minus 3 molar in copper 2 plus, but I added 1 molar ammonia, just to throw some numbers at it. Way big excess. Well, if I do that, then you can think of it boom, going in one step, for which we write big K, F, no 1, no 2, no 3, no 4. Sometimes it's just given the symbol K. So as you see on that slide I had up there, it uses just the symbol K. So K. So, and that would be the product of the stepwise. It would be KF1 times KF2 times KF3 times KF4. And if you do the math, that turns out to be 4 times 10 to the 12th. So again, very much a product-favored reaction. Huge equilibrium constant. And so we learned that these are very strong interactions. And so that's why they can be used in living systems. They're strong bonds. So the magnesium ion doesn't pop out of the chlorophyll, and the iron doesn't pop out of the hemoglobin, because these are very strong bonds. Huge, particularly for hemoglobin. I don't know what that equilibrium coefficient is, but it's huge. Huge. Yes?
So, the solution, would copper more likely bind to a ligand, or would it go into like a precipitate if you had something that would cause precipitation? Okay,
we're going to talk about that. So the question is, what about precipitation? I'm going to get to that. Good question. Get to that in a second. Okay. In fact, that's what I'm getting to right now. It's like you're reading my mind. Okay, now. Yeah, so the one, I'll just throw one more at you because I like this molecule. This is a molecule I like. Oxalate, love oxalate. Here's a molecule I really like. You can take iron 3 plus, and we're going to take iron 3 plus aqueous, add excess cyanide, and you get this cool thing. The iron 3 plus aqueous reacts with 6 of the cyanide aqueous to make this very interesting molecule, ferricyanide. And that big K, so you can again think of 6 stepwise formation constants, or as in this example, you can get it all in one shot by adding excess, but that big K is 4 times 10 to the 43rd. These are huge numbers. These are a lot bigger than most of the equilibrium constants we've encountered so far. So that molecule is very stable, very interesting molecule. When we get to the electrochemistry part soon, we'll talk about molecules like this. All right. Now, I said on Wednesday that chelating agents, both in your shampoo and in your kidney, keep ions, metal ions, from precipitating. So both in your shampoo, you find EDTA, that molecule I put up last time, find that in your shampoo. Its mission in life is to prevent metal ions from precipitating out in your shampoo. Likewise, in healthy, normal kidney, there are chelating agents that stabilize the calcium ion and prevent it from precipitating out. Let's talk about that chemistry. So let's take the example. What example? Let's take this example. Copper hydroxide, insoluble material. Hydroxides, for the alkali metal ions and most of the alkaline earths, soluble. For almost every other metal ion, hydroxides aren't soluble. So for all those transition metal ions, etc., hydroxides tend to be weak electrolytes. The group 1A and group 2A are the exception, although magnesium hydroxide is not, well, calcium hydroxide is not especially soluble either, so I take that back. So really, pretty much the group 1A form soluble hydroxides, but man, most other metal ions pretty much form insoluble hydroxides. So copper hydroxide being an example. For which we can write okay, but so you say, oh wow, you know, that's pretty insoluble material. Boy, if I have any copper and any hydroxide at all, boom, out comes crashing my copper hydroxide. How can I prevent that? Well, what if here I got my beaker and I had calcium hydroxide and oh, poop, it precipitated out. What if I added some ammonia to it? Well, the principle Le Chatelier again raises its beautiful head here because we know that we'll take the KSP reaction first. But if we have ammonia, and so what does Le Chatelier say here? Le Chatelier says, if you remove the product of a reaction, there's the first reaction. The product of that first reaction is copper 2 plus in solution. If you remove that product, you're now stressing the reaction. You're stressing the reaction by removing the product, that the position of equilibrium will shift to the right. So that's why ligands and complexing agents, ionophores, improve solubility of metal ions, because they take away the product of the dissolution reaction. They lower the concentration of this. And if they lower the concentration of this, well, they raise the solubility of the material. Now we can treat, so that's the qualitative idea. We can treat that quantitatively. So we can say, the KF here, I think I already gave that. KF there is 4 times 10 to the 12th. So Le Chatelier says the solubility should go up. And we can show that, one way we can show that is to write it as an overall reaction. The copper hydroxide solid plus the 4 ammonias gives you the copper tetramine complex plus 2 OHs. And we'll describe that by a funny equilibrium constant called K overall. Overall meaning it takes into account both of the chemical steps we've written there. K overall, you can write that in the usual way. It's the concentration of the copper tetramine complex, the concentration of hydroxide squared, divided by the concentration of copper, hold on, no, divided by the concentration of ammonia to the 4th. So again, what goes in the equilibrium constant expression? Well, that doesn't, because it's a pure solid phase. So we got the 2 products, the copper tetramine complex and the hydroxide, and then the 1 reactant. Okay, so now this is the equilibrium. So before we added any ammonia, this was our equilibrium constant. After we added the ammonia, effectively we changed the reaction, and this is our equilibrium constant. But it's easier than it looks, because it's easy to show that it's easy to show that the product of KSP times KF is this thing I'm calling K overall. How can we prove that? Well, here's KSP. And then now we got to get KF. Here's KF. concentration of copper, concentration of ammonia to the fourth. So I said that we can treat it as an overall thing. That's the equilibrium constant. We can quantitatively define that equilibrium constant this way. And I'm proving that to you because there's KSP. I just circled it. And then the rest of it is KF. So that's KSP times KF. And what we find out is that, wait a minute, something's not right. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Hold on, I'm trying to get to that. What?
The CU cancel. The copper's on top of the bottom. It gets us together.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. That's what I have in my notes, but it didn't seem that way. Don't know why. Okay, so there you go. There's your K overall. Your K overall. There's the first term in a K overall, the second term, the third term. Or let's just write it out. So that means we got copper, NH3, 2 plus, OH squared, concentration of ammonia to the fourth. Okay, so what's my point here? If you do the math now, just by multiplying those two, you find out that KSP times KF, which is this thing we call K overall, would be the KSP 2 times 10 to minus 20, small number, times big number, or K overall, eight. All right, so we went from an equilibrium of constant of 10 to minus 20 when we didn't have the ammonia to an equilibrium constant of 10 to minus 8. We increased the equilibrium constant by over 12 orders of magnitude by adding the ligand. So this is in general why ligands or chelating agents improve solubility. One way to think about it conceptually is we know that a precipitate won't form, in this case, until the concentration of hydroxide and the concentration of copper, multiply them together, become greater than KSP. So you won't get a precipitate. Think about it this way. QSP would be the concentration of copper times the concentration of hydroxide, but not the equilibrium values. Right? That's QSP. Now we know that a precipitate won't form, no precipitate, if QSP is less than KSP. So you don't get a precipitate at low concentrations of copper. What does the ligand do? It lowers the free concentration of copper. It ties the copper up as that copper tetramine complex, and there's very little free copper left. So what that means is by adding the ligand, you decrease this That makes QSP small. Yes?
So you know how we said that the K overall would be 8.8 times 10 to the negative 8?
Yeah.
So could you possibly get that to go even higher by adding more ligands? Because that the number would like that. So.
No, the way you would make it go higher is to use a ligand with a higher KF.
Okay.
Because look what we got. We got the new K overall is just KSP times KF. So if you wanted to make that much bigger, find a ligand with a higher KF. That's how you would do it. So again, conceptually, what the ligand is doing is grabbing the copper and tying it up as the complex, thereby lowering the concentration of the copper. And that makes QSP small, that makes QSP less than KSP, and you get no precipitation. Again, that works in your kidneys, that works in your shampoo. Now, but interestingly enough, there's always some tiny amount of free metal ion. So again, we say, we're going to take our friend, I think I just had this, so I'm going to write, again, L is ammonia, just to make it easy on me. We can say copper 2 plus 4 ligands makes the copper tetramine complex, all right? And we can describe that by a big K, which is the equilibrium concentration of the equilibrium concentration of that, the equilibrium concentration of that to the 4th power, and that number is what? What's that number? Huh? All right. Now here's an important thing, and it's the last thing I'll talk about today. Even though that equilibrium constant is huge, it's 4 times 10 to the 12th, it's not 0. There is, at equilibrium, in that solution, a tiny amount of copper ion, free. And that's and making that copper ion tiny like that is how we suppress precipitation. But there's always a tiny little bit of uncomplex copper at equilibrium in that mixture. Its concentration might be low. It might be micromolar, nanomolar, picomolar, attomolar, femtomolar. You got to know all your molars in this business. There's a molar here. Different molar, you see. So next time I'm going to show you a way that we can use to calculate that free equilibrium amount of concentration of free metal ion.